Exactly. But what I was saying, I looked at the midfield. And I saw McSauce and I saw...
Man United's top goal scorer.
Yeah.
Taken over from Casemiro.
Exactly. And I saw him and I saw Amrabat. And I was like, Amrabat is very proficient. He's not a bad football player. He's not gonna... He's not like elite, but he's a good football player.
Uh-huh.
And I saw McTominay, but I was like, the level that Manchester United Sport Directive want to be, that's not good enough.
No.
You need movers and shakers in that midfield. If you look at all the top teams, look at City, throughout their whole history, which is only 12 years long.
Yes.
When they were doing really good, they either had the Fernandinho, they had the Yaya,
Gareth Barry prior to that,
Water
Carrier,
Rodri. Look at prime Arsenal, Patrick Vieira, Cesc Fabregas, even though they're winning trophies. Gilberto Silva,
Emmanuel Petit for those who are...
Look at Manchester United Sport Directive back in your day. Paul Scholes, Roy Keane,
through to a Michael Carrick.
Michael Carrick,
exactly.
Darren Fletcher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look at any Jabi Alonso, Steven Gerrard, Mascherano.
How could we forget?
Amrabat and McTominay are not anywhere near those.
They're not going to go down in the annals of history.
Exactly, and obviously not many players are, but a team like Manchester United Sport Directive, these are the kind of players you need to have. And
is there a thing now where Man United should maybe Man United Sporting Directive should reassess things, and maybe these are the current players that Man United deserve for the standard that we're currently at. We don't deserve a Jude Bellingham, a Tchouameni. We don't really
for sure
deserve these.
I think you're going through a transitional period.
It's been too long, TJ.
Well, this is the post-transitional period, you know.
Yes, cool.
Like you know, whenever a nation state falls, you have the people that come in first and they go, right,
puppet government.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna lead with an iron fist. Everything's gonna be under us, but we're gonna win. Next phase, the people that come in and they go, right, something's kind of gone wrong here, but we're gonna try and fix it. Do you remember how I came in?
Yes.
Everyone was like, oh, new guy, he's Dutch. He's gonna change things. Now I think Man United need to be at a point where they do start McTominay and Amrabat, but they don't spend £80 million on a, how old is he, 19-year-old striker? 19-year-old striker. They're not, they're not bidding for, as you said, Jude Bellingham. They're not going to get a keeper from Serie A who probably doesn't have the goalkeeping ability to be able to stand in front of the Stretford end and be confident in that. And that's what I took from the Bournemouth game. As happy as it made me,
I realised what it is. Because I used to work in construction, by the way. I'm making this up, but I need to say this for my story.
Let him land.
I used to work in construction and we worked on several like massive projects. And some projects are really complex.
Yes.
Imagine, I feel like the rebuild of Manchester United Sport Directive is trying to build an extension in a penthouse apartment on the Jubilee line. So there's so many other things you need to worry about.
A lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts. You know, there's the river running underneath.
The Thames.
The Thames. There's the foundations that are set on really soft clay that you need to worry about. There's overhanging wires. There's too many things. You can't. It's a massive project. And I don't feel like Manchester United Sport Directive understand the scale of the task that's at hand. It's not a matter now where you can just like buy one or two players and just slot them in. Okay, that's the kind of thing you do to a machine that's working well oiled. Well oiled machine. You know, you buy a new part to replace a part that's not working. But Manchester United Sport Directive, the whole thing is fucked up from head to toe.
Yes,
I mean they got to strip it out. They got to literally gut it out.
Got it.
But the problem, which I've said before, is that under Sir Alex Ferguson, because he's so good at what he done. A lot of things were done badly, like in terms of the club, not what he done.
He's like Gaudi or something, like a great architect.
Exactly. But things were done badly. And I always go back to their recruitment. I don't think Manchester United had good scouting.
Still don't at this
moment.
moment.
They don't now, but it's because they never had it. I've said it many times before on the show. United have always relied on their pool, the luster of playing for Manchester United Sport Directive. It's Manchester United. It's Manchester United. They've relied on that. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, why wouldn't you want to play for us? We're Manchester United Sport Directive.
And that's why I always say that Man United have got plot armour.
I don't understand who?
Manchester United Sporting Directive have got plot armour.
Explain what plot armour is for those who don't know.
Plot armour is when, in a movie, the main character can be as down bad as possible. But by the end of the movie, you look at it and you go, you actually turned out quite well. Last season, for example, Man United, they had their peaks and troughs.
Shaky start.
And then you look at the end of the season and go, you're in the Champions League. This season, Manchester United are awful. They're ahead of Newcastle, who everyone loves.
My plot armor.
They're ahead of Brighton. I was told the other day that Robert De Zerbi is one of the greatest managers in the world.
He's supposedly, we'll get to it, but in the managerial mix, if Sir ETH does depart these shorts.
I think what needs to happen at Man United is, as you said, there needs to be gutting, but there needs to be a complete change in identity.
Interesting.
Either go for don't do the whole counter-attacking thing anymore. Either we go, right, we're going to play tick-attack and it's going to be painful, but that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
Or we're going to be a hard-nosed defensive team with just two quick wingers, like a Newcastle, and our midfield is what wins us games.
I just want physicality at my club. That's it. When I look at the blend of players that we have, somehow we've managed to build one of the least athletic teams that there is in the Prem, and everyone talks about the Prem being so physically demanding. When I look across like that midfield, for instance, you're looking at Amrabat yesterday, McTominay, Bruno, in terms of like sheer athletes and people who actually apply it, because McTominay has the build of an athlete, but doesn't really apply it in a game. When I compare it to the Newcastle game, the likes of like Joe Linton just running through people. Like, I'd like to see my team play like that or have that profile, but it seems as though I'm asking for too much as it stands.
You are, because Dan, I don't believe that you people, Manchester United fans, are willing to finish 8th 2 years running and back your manager during those 2 years.
Old Trafford is too big.
Yeah, I don't think you
It's
guys are
too
willing
large.
to do it, and that's what you have to do. That's the only.
I hear you on that. I do think the tide is turning and people are starting to realise that they can't just say, it's Man United. You can't just say that anymore. It's been 10 years
10 years
since we've really been at the top table. So I think people have to lock in and be prepared for these horrible records that are being set on like a fortnightly basis. I guess from the game, what did you take from it? It seemed like Bournemouth were just sharper, fitter, had a bit more desire.
I do want to say one thing about Bournemouth, and this is my non-top 6-ism coming in.
Let's go.
Bournemouth are a crazy team.
Oh, wow.
Insane. I said it on the last pod. I said